This is the plaintiff, Natasha Hart. She says she ordered rocks for her yard from the defendant, a self-proclaimed rock guy in her area. And the guy not only delivered the wrong rocks, he dumped them on her front lawn. She has no way of moving them because, duh, they're rocks, and they're heavy. She doesn't know what this hard head was thinking, but now she has to spend all kinds of money fixing his mistake. She's suing for $2,103.50, the amount needed. This is the defendant, Ronald Endicott. He says he's been in business since 1976 and has never come across a person like the plaintiff in all his days. Not only is the woman extremely particular, she has a selective memory. He made it crystal clear that once the rocks were delivered, they could only be moved by machine, not by hand. Bottom line, he placed the rocks exactly where she instructed him to. And he can't help it if the plaintiff is the one acting hard-headed. He's accused of not being rock solid.
Thank you, Douglas. Natasha Hart, you are suing Endicott Woods Enterprises, represented here by Ronald Endicott, you're the owner, for $2,103.50 in damages that you say you want him to pay for, over $100 in rocks that he delivered, according to you, in the wrong spots. What happened?
Well, in 2010, there was a kind of a movement in my neighborhood to get people to go native in their yards. So I tore everything out, all the vegetation except for one tree, covered it in weed barrier, and decided that I was going to do the rest in boulders, rocks, and hazelnut shells.
Okay. Right. They wanted you to go native because they felt it was greener.
Yes.
Okay. And would require less watering.
Yes.
So you decided to do it, and tell me how the defendant comes into this role.
I called around, and Ronnie, as he is known in the rock business, came very highly recommended. So I called him up. I told him what I was doing. He invited me to come out and take a look at the rock. I went out 3 times. His wife actually helped me on the 3rd time, and we X'd a bunch of the rocks. And then she said, well, I don't think he can handle these because they're kind of big.
What do you mean? What would they be doing
well,
there if
they're
they
boulders.
weren't for sale?
I mean, like 2010.
Well, I know, but that's his business. I mean, I couldn't handle it, but why would they be there and for sale if he couldn't handle them?
I don't know.
You didn't think that was odd, though?
So she said, I did. And so she said...
Come on up, please. Were there some rocks that were there that were just too big?
There were some rocks that were just really huge, and what I was trying to tell her is we weren't placing them. We were just delivering rocks, and when it comes
wait a minute, hold on. When you say you weren't placing them, you're delivering them, and no one can move them after you come.
After the dump truck, it gets into the dump truck, and then we deliver them. That's what we were trying to tell her while I was showing her the rocks, is I told her, once these things go out of the dump truck, they are going to stay wherever they fall.
But hold on, when you say we're not placing them, you are placing them, aren't you?
Well,
your husband would like to correct you.
Dumping them into the spot she tells us.
Yeah, but you're not going to, nobody wants a dump of rocks and you say, hey, you know, they want you to with your machines, place them and then go.
That's what I was trying to tell her.
Okay, but what do the size of the rock, what kind of place are you? Tell me about you.
We have a yard.
We have a yard that has some rocks, and we use them for like rock walls and different things.
What would you do with that rock if not sell it whole?
Actually, we would break it up.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you would just break it up at its own spot.
Exactly, and then deliver them.
All right.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's like, well, why do you have them there? All right, got
exactly.
It. Go ahead.
About a month to a month and a half later, he called me and he said, I'm going to deliver the rocks today. And I said, and position them. So he agreed. He came, dumped the rocks.
Wait. Where were you when he came?
At my house.
Okay, so you're standing there. He's standing there. He's got a truck full of rocks.
He's got a truck full of rocks. He dumps them.
While you're standing there.
And we have a chat about where they're going to get positioned.
Okay.
In fact, he was so detailed that he even said, if we take this big one and position it over there, it's going to make an illusion as people come up the hill. Okay. So he was so specific that I said to him, well, it sounds like you know what you're doing. I will let you decide where to position them, because I just thought.
And when was he going to position them?
Well, I thought he was going to position them right then.
So you left?
No. He asked me for a check. I assumed, so I wrote him a check, and I assumed that he just wanted me to write the check then so that he could finish positioning them and then not have to stop again and just
what
leave.
happened instead?
He left.
Wait, in front of you?
Yeah.
Did you say, wait, where are you going?
I said, where are you going? And he says, well, I just came to see something like the lay of the land today. I'll be back tomorrow and I'll position them.
Okay, so he left them all in a pile.
Well, they're not positioned. They're just dumped in a pile.
Okay, do you have a picture of it?
I do.
Okay. Tell me about your conversation with her when you went out to her place.
Okay, first of all, I went by the first time in a pickup to see where she was going to dump them because I was so unclear of her place. I knew she lives on a very busy street. It's a major thoroughfare.
Did you meet with her that day?
I did not meet with her before the day
All
I
right, so
showed
now
up with
you're
the
there
rocks.
with a truck full of rocks, and
Yes.
you talk. And do you have help?
No.
How are you getting the rocks off your truck and then?
We have big dump trucks
It's a dump, okay.
and boulder boxes that are built for
How
this
do you
kind of work.
move them from where you dump them, or you drive right where you're going to dump them?
We back up and dump them where they're going to be placed on the ground.
But how do you move them once they're there?
That is a separate operation. That's a separate machine, somebody else.
Okay, so
we got
now
that.
tell me how it is, though, if when you go, you're going to take your truck and you're going to dump.
And that's...
But how do you, when you tilt the back of the truck, how do you know which rock's going to fall out to place them?
That was where this whole misunderstanding must have started. Is my wife explained to her that day that when these boulders dump out of the back of the truck, that's where they're going to be placed. These are not hand move around type rocks. So you have to either where they land is where you're going to have your landscape set up, or you have to make arrangements to move them.
How does one make arrangements to move such a large
Then
boulder?
you call and schedule that you need a machine. And
What kind of machine?
An excavator. You need a hydraulic excavator.
A hydraulic
to
excavator.
move this size boulders.
Okay,
You would
and
need.
according to you, you explained that to her. Listen, you're just buying rocks from us. We're not placing them on your.
That's where this whole thing escalated on beyond.
Okay. So anyway, go on.
She misunderstood me that I was going to go place them. I was talking and we were kind of joking about, well, this rock should go, in certain spots, but that was her requirement.
You were just chatting and giving her your opinion about it?
That's where, yes.
But did you ever say to her, where do you want me to put these?
I could only, one spot I could really dump them. When you got a big dump truck, you can only back up into one area. You can't dump one rock at 5 feet over there and then hold the other one and move over and dump. They're all placed in the back of a dump truck. When they start to come out, unfortunately, they all come out at once.
So where did you get the impression they were going to landscape for you, as opposed to just deliver rocks that you bought? I mean, you paid $100 for these boulders. Where did you get the impression they were going to landscape?
So, who wins this case? Her or the rock guy? What do you think?
The rock guy,
Why?
definitely. He didn't sign up for making any kind of landscaping with her, just dropping off the rock.
But he did say the rocks should go here and here and here.
I don't think he should have left him on her front lawn.
So you're siding with her. Okay. Who's the tiebreaker?
You have to get it in writing. If that was part of the deal, then he should have put them where they were supposed to go.
So rock guy wins.
Rock guy wins.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
He, in fact, told me specifically where
When?
he thought. At
No,
the
I know.
time
He
when
doesn't deny
dumped
that he
them.
told you where he thought. He's just saying he was giving you free,
And-
unsolicited advice of where he
Well,
thought.
when he started to leave, I said, well, aren't you going to move? Aren't you going to position the rocks? He said, no, I'll come back tomorrow.
Okay, did you ever say you would come back tomorrow to position her rocks?
No.
All right. So go ahead.
I called in a few days. I was calling at first, I was calling his cell phone. Then I started calling the office, and nobody ever called me back and said, well, we can't move these rocks. We never planned to move these rocks. And they kept saying, well, he'll come out. He's just busy right now. He'll do it.
Do you have your paperwork from the original purchase?
Yes, I have a copy of the check.
Any other paperwork? Do you have?
No.
Is there paperwork drawn up for this or no?
No.
All right. And were you guys just like, well, try to be nice, or everybody was beating around the bush and not saying, hey, lady, it ain't happening?
No, I did. Very, very few times I did. When I went out to pick the rocks, I marked the rocks for her, and the ones that we finally decided on, and I marked them, and I told her, I says, you do realize that these rocks, when they come out of the dump truck, they are going to fall and they're going to stay where they fall, because they're just going to come out. And I even told her there's a possibility they might break, because they're big boulders falling on top of one another. And I gave her all this, and she goes, that's okay, that's all right, it's going to be a natural thing, and I want it to look natural. And I go, are you sure? I says, because these things are going to stay where they fall, because they are so large.
Well, but that's not true, though. They can be moved with a hydraulic what?
Right, but that's not what
hydraulic
she wanted.
what? No, I know
She
that's
just
not. You're
wanted
saying she didn't pay us for that. I
Hydraulic
understand.
excavator.
Hydraulic excavator. So if you have the dough, You can put them exactly where you want them. You
Anybody-
just got to spend the dough. How
Anybody
much
can
does
do
that
what they want.
cost?
To do that would have been about $350 to $400.
I sort of think that maybe you guys were hoping to maybe get to it if you could, to place them. And that's why a person keeps calling you, because otherwise I wouldn't keep calling you. If they had told you, lady, that wasn't part of your deal, you just bought rocks, what would you have done?
I wouldn't have bought them because the whole deal was that I needed them positioned.
Right, but can you show me the contract where you paid $100 for rocks and positioning of rocks, which is typically a landscaper's job?
No, but
Right,
I can
so
tell you.
the first thing you have to show me as a plaintiff is how you contracted for two things, not just the purchase of rocks, but the placement of them on your yard, which cannot possibly be done by a dump truck, requires a hydraulic, what?
Hydraulic excavator.
Excavator, and typically is a landscaper's job, not a guy selling boulders job. So being that you cannot prove to me that for $100 you were getting anything other than the delivery of some rocks, I rule in favor of the defendants in this case.
Just hold on right there.
Well, the rock guy has won his case here in the People's Court, leaving you with the
So he did,
loser's roll.
which is a bunch of boulders in my front yard.
Yeah, now what?
Well, I guess I'll have to pay to redo it.
So are you going to go to him or are you going to go to someone else?
Well, we'll see.
All right, okay.
Maybe he'll come to me and come to his senses.
All right. Let's see what he says about that. All right, say, come on in here and
Hello.
how you doing? You're the rock guy, right?
Yes, I'm the rock guy.
I'm the hallway guy. How do you like the verdict here?
It's good, but we've learned a lot from this case.
Go ahead.
About being real clear and in writing.
Oh,
Never
well,
do this again.
You watch the People's Court, right? That's what they've learned here over and over and over again.
Well, unfortunately, I'm out delivering rocks, so I don't get a chance to watch it.
Will you go to her and try to offer her a deal to get the job done?
I feel really sad that she is unhappy with what went on.
Will you go to her?
I probably would go back to her and try to mitigate the
All right.
issues.
Let's go to Harvey.
Well, that woman is exactly right. That what happens is you need to get specifically put in the contract what services the contractor will perform. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.